Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I'm back in the pain cave today. So going to give you an update on the new bike and what I've been doing on her and what's left to do and a bit of a plan for today. But before I do that, I've got an hour in Zwift to do on the turbo trainer. So I'm going to get into that, get it done, and then we'll talk about that thing. That was fun out on Zwift, nothing too stressful, just keeping my training fairly low intensity at the moment. So, yep, did that cold dip as a recovery dip. Video coming soon on a month of cold dipping, watch out for that one. And yeah, so freshened up, had lunch and a shower. So yeah, let's do this. Let's get onto the bike. So the TT bike's all set up. I've set it up on the turbo trainer. I haven't engaged the mag wheel. So the rear wheel is free spinning, just to give me a bit more freedom. I want to test the brakes a little bit as well. Can't do that normally on a trainer. So just to make life a bit easier with the setup that the bike's currently got. So gonna first of all take you through a bit about what I've been doing on the new bike. So here is my Planet X Exocet 2. We saw this in a previous video. It was in great condition when I got it. Definitely well looked after. But a few things I wanted to do just to kind of make it customized for me, how I want it set up, and also just a few general maintenance bits so that it's in absolute pristine condition going into next season. So the bike has had a full strip down. I'll show you a couple of pictures from that in a moment. And yeah, I kind of got a bit carried away, to be honest. So brake pads weren't too bad, but wouldn't hurt to replace them. So while I had those out, I've also replaced all of the cables. So she's got new brake cables, gear cables throughout. Also replaced the bottom bracket. I did think there was a slight creak from that before. Nothing major. And the old one wasn't in bad shape. It would have done me through winter. But again, like I say, I'm going to get her absolutely tip-top condition. So bottom bracket's been done. I've now got new pedals on there because they came with Shimano SPDSL pedals. I use Look Keo, so I've swapped out for a set of Look Keos on there. Like I say, got new brake pads, sticking with the rim brakes. It's a rim brake bike. On my other bikes got discs, but of course on time trial bikes, they tend to be the higher end at the moment. Obviously more money bikes. But these seem to be working okay. I've now got my aero bottle on there as well on the down tube. That's where I tend to keep gels during races. And I've also popped my bento bag on the top. The biggest change though has come at the moment from these beauties on the front. So the aero bar extensions that were on the front, they were profile design carbon, very nice, but they were the more sort of flat out front sort of bars, the sort of older style. I really like, from a comfort point alone, if nothing else, having my wrists not sort of bent out at an angle to hold the flat bars, flat style bars. I really like my arms to be a bit more, my wrists to be more almost natural position. And I also like my arms just to be a little bit more up, and my hands are in that kind of more upright position. So I've gone for these. These are profile design again. They're the 52 ASA bars in a 400 length. So the ASA meaning they are the aluminium, they are not carbon. They're a little bit heavier than the carbon equivalent, the ASCs, but not by a huge amount actually, surprisingly. And they're quite considerably cheaper. They were about £100 for the pair. Absolutely love them already. I think they just look stunning, but from the couple of quick goes I've had on the bike, they feel quite good already as well. So really pleased with those. And yeah, looking on that, I've got to now try and get her a bit better set up. The one thing you might notice I've not done yet, I haven't got my shifters on. The gears aren't set up. The reason for that is the first thing I'm going to do in a minute is I want to try and get the angle of the bars about right, okay, as in the lateral angle. Because they're cable shifters, you have to take the shifter apart, the cable out, to be able to get the Allen key in and adjust them. So I want to get the bars as close as I can in that lateral movement, so when I put the shifters in, they're in about the right spot, and I haven't got to start taking cables apart I'm doing fairly major work just to adjust the shifters a little bit. So that'll be first job, is get those set in a position I'm fairly happy with. Then I can get the shifters in, pop the gear cables in, index them, and then I can then do some more testing and adjustment of the cockpit as well. Hydration is completely missing at the minute, you may notice. I'm going to come back to that later on. I want to get the bike set up first, and then I'm going to worry about what type of hydration I have. On the back, I do like running a twin cage, bottle cage behind the seat, okay, behind the saddle. My current saddle I've got, which has got the mounts for that, is a physics saddle. This bike came with a Specialized saddle. I actually think from sitting on it already, it feels a bit more comfortable in the physics. So I want to do some testing on this first. But if it looks like this is actually the saddle for me, and it's actually a bit better fit than the physic, then I need to get a new clamp adapter for the rear saddle, for the rear of the saddle. If I don't get on with this, the physic goes back on. I've obviously got a bracket already. Happy days. At the front, I do have the mounting system that I had on the Cannondale, on the clip-on aero bars. That would fit to this, but what I would like to go for is having a bottle more mounted here in the upright, sort of behind the bars sort of position, whereas on the Cannondale it hangs underneath the bars. So have something there, and what I really want to do is have a dual-purpose system. I want to have it so that on race day I can have a bottle in there which has got a straw. I really like the kind of straw system, so you haven't got to take the bottle in and out to drink or any of that. You can literally just pop the straw in your mouth, have a drink, off you go. Really like that. I want to keep that. But I also want the flexibility of whatever that mount is here, that I can just put a normal bottle in it as well. So if I'm just at a shorter session around the local track, popping out at lunchtime, anything like that, I can just pop a normal bottle in the top there, because I'm going to be less worried about taking fluids on the go. You know, I probably will be stopping a bit more regularly, that kind of thing. So I'm going to get the bike all set up, and once I know that, and I know the setup and what space I've got to work with, then I can worry about sorting out a hydration mount if I need to get a new one. So, time to get on the bike, I think. Enough chat about what I've done and what I want to do. Time to get on and get her set up. Just one last little word about how I'm doing this. Also, I could go for a proper professional bike fit. I probably will at some point. But of course they are quite expensive. Rightly so, you know, you're paying for a professional's expertise. But I've spent a fair bit on the bike already. So for now, I can do it myself. So what I've got here, on my TV, which normally runs Zwift, I've actually got OBS Studio running. That's a video recording software. In a moment, I'm going to set my phone up at the far end of the pain cave, and what that's going to do is use another little app called Video Ninja, and that will send a stream from my phone camera across the web to OBS Studio as a virtual camera. So I'm actually going to be seeing in front of me that side-on view of the position I'm in. So I'm going to use that just to help me. And then what I've got, which I'll come back to shortly, is another little app I'm going to use, which is a virtual bike fitting. There we go, it's the first part of the fit done. So actually I was pretty thereabouts, I think. I might need to lift the saddle a little bit, but I want to ride it a bit more first. The saddle is feeling pretty good. I have to say the physics got some contender there. So I'm going to stick with the Specialized for now and we'll see how that goes. So I do think I possibly need to lift my saddle up a little bit. Just at the top of the pedal stroke, my hips, that did feel a bit tight. So that might just help loosen that out a little bit. I'm carrying a bit of bulk, as you would have seen in the video though, so yeah, it kind of gets in the way a little bit. So I'm going for a bit more of a comfort as opposed to overall aggressive aero here. But my arms, my shoulders, that all felt good. And as you saw, I spent most of my time just tweaking the extensions. So they're about where I think I want them now. And the arms feel pretty good. My elbows are down on the cups, and my hands are just fitting perfect. They just feel natural, not like I'm twisting, extending, or anything else. Shoulders feel pretty good, so I think I've got the width right now as well. So yeah, cautiously optimistic as a first pass. That's good. So now I'm going to get the gears in, gear cables fitted, get the shifters onto the end, and just work on that. And then I'll probably be up for an outdoor test. So watch this space for another update. But good progress so far. So hit like and subscribe if you want to see that next video, and I'll see you soon.